आरम्भं करोतु महोदय। न श्रूयते, न श्रूयते। You are on mute. You are on mute.
Okay, sorry महोदय। ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सहना भवतु सहनौ गुणत्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
धन्यवादः। अस्तु, अत्र
नमस्ते महोदय।
नमस्ते। I see somebody new called Pavitra. Who is Pavitra? Pavitra महोदय, भवती का अस्ति?
Namo Namaha. I usually attend Anuradha's class on Saturday morning.
अस्तु अस्तु।
Yeah, I'm new to this class.
अस्तु, स्वागतं स्वागतं।
Namaste Mahodaya. I also attend Saturday class. I am attending today your class.
अस्तु, स्वागतं। If possible, please turn on your camera so I know who you are and we'll have a rapport. Astu. Any questions about what we studied in the last class about or about the Griha Karyam?
Mahoday, I have a question regarding the Griha Karyam.
Pruchhatu Mahoday.
That you asked us to fill in that sloka, right? Another.
Okay.
So that one I'm not able to fill in directly. Should I have to do as a homework, like, and submit, or?
No, you don't have to do anything electronically. You have to write everything.
Oh, okay. I thought fill in the in that link means I thought.
No. Don't do anything electronically. Do everything on paper like you normally do.
Oh, astu. Dhanya.
Mahoday. Mahoday.
वदतु महोदय।
गतकक्षायां एक वाक्य आसीत् हस्ताभ्यां मा खादतु। I just wanted to confirm my understanding that it was dvabhyam, filling the blanks, and we did dvabhyam hastabhyam ma khadatu. This is tritiya vibhakti dvivachanam. Is it right?
Satya. Because we have only two hands, right? So that's the only thing that can fit. And also bhyam will be either tritiya, chaturtiya, panchami, dvitiya, dvivachanam. So that is also one more.
Yeah. धन्यवादः।
अस्तु, अन्ये प्रश्नाः सन्ति वा? नो चेत् अग्रे सरामः।
Mहोदय, I was trying to send the homework, but it in the classroom thing, it puts me like try again after creating or enrolling in a course. Try again after creating or enrolling in a course. It's not letting me send.
This is a unique problem to you. Can we take it up after the class?
Yes. Thank you. Dhanyawad.
अस्तु अग्रे सरामः. So in the last class we studied about sankhyavataka shabdaha or sankhyeyaha. What does that mean? Sankhyeyaha इत्यर्थ इत्युक्ते किम्?
I think like Triveni,
numbers.
there is.
संख्या यत्र विशेषण भावेन उपयुज्यते. एकः बालकः, द्वाभ्यां हस्ताभ्यां, त्रीणि पुस्तकानि इति. मम सङ्गणकं दृश्यते वा?
आम् महोदय.
अस्तु. संख्यावाचक विशेषणानि. So as we saw, which many things in Sanskritam are vishesha visheshana bhavaha. They have that vishesha visheshana bhavaha. Sankhyavatakaha also display that bhavaha. So yatra sankhyavatakaनां विशेषणानि रूपाणि भवन्ति तत् संख्येयाः इति उच्यते. एकः एव रावणाय अलम्. सः एकः एव रावणाय अलम् इत्यत्र वाक्यस्य अर्थं किम्? अर्थः कः?
Alim.
He is the
Only one. He is not the only one.
He
Alam.
alone is enough to take
He-
on Ravana.
yes.
He alone is sufficient for Ravana. Alam, enough.
Enough.
सः एकः एव रावणाय अलम्. He alone is sufficient for Ravana. Who is that?
Rama.
Rama, Sri Rama. So atra saha is prathama vibhakti pumlinga ekavachanam. So ekaha has to match prathama vibhakti pumlinga ekavachanam. So ekaha. And then we also saw that eka, dvi, tri, chatur, the first 4 numbers. For these, eka, dvi, tri, and chatur are the pratipadikam. And for these 4 numbers, linga bhedam asti, saptasu vibhaktishu rupani bhavanti. And eka is always in ekavachananta, dvi is always in dvivachananta, tri and chatur. Anything above 3, they are always in bahuvachananta. Pancha, shash, sapta, saptan, ashtan, navan, dashan, ekadashan, all the way up to ashtadashan. They have the same rupam in all 3 lingas, but they have their own vibhakti form, and they are always bahuvachana. So anything about 3, they are always in bahuvachana. So we saw that 5 to 18, they are all nakaranta shabda. Panchan, shash, except shash. Saptan, ashtan, navan, dashan, ityadi. 19, when it comes to 19, there are 2 ways of expressing 19. One is navadasha, that is the common word we use, navadasha. So when we use it as navadasha, it is like panchan. So whatever vibhakti forms exist for panchan, they also exist for navadashan. But there is one more way of saying 19, which is ekona vimshati. So when we use it as ekona vimshati, then it follows like vimshati. And what is Vimshati like? So Vimshati, Shashti, Saptatihi, Ashiti, Navati, they are all Ikaranta Strilinga. And they always have the Ekavachana Anta. So they are all Bahuvachana, but the Strilinga, every Strilinga word has Ekavachana, Dvivachana, Bahuvachana, right? So the Ekavachana form of the Strilinga. So Vimshati is like Mati. So Matihi, Mati, Matayaha, Matim, Mati, Matihi, ityadi. So if you look at the Ekavachana form, Matihi, Matim, ityadi asti. So Vimshati will take on the Ekavachana Anta form. So like Matihi in Prathama Vibhakti, it will be Vimshatihi. Matim, Vimshatim, Matya, Vimshatya, etc. Same way for Shashti, Saptati, Ashiti, Navati. And if you use 19 as Ekona Vimshati, then it will take the same form as Vimshati. So going back here, what is Ekona Vimshati?
One less than 100. No, 20.
One less than 20.
One less than 20.
One less than
90.
20.
One less than 20, that is 19.
Satya.
Yeah, one less than 20.
Satya. One less than 20. Eka Una
Eka Una Vimshati.
Eka Una Vimshati. So whenever we have the word Una along with a number, then it means it is less by that much. So if you say Dashona Shatam, it is whatever that number is 10 less than 100. Panchona Ashiti, 5 less than 80 or 75. Una along with the number is telling you how much, by how much it is less than. Spashtama?
Bhanumode, you were explaining this in the last page. That was like 2. It is not in plural, but then from 3 onwards. Like what? I didn't understand that fully.
So the number 2, the Vibhakti form. Is there a Ekavachana form for the number 2 or a Bahuvachana
Yes.
for number 2? Asti va? How do you
Ekvachana form. Yes.
Number 2. The Vibhakti form for number 2. What are the Vibhakti forms for number 2? Dvi in Pumlinga.
Pullinga. Dve, is it?
Dvau.
Dvau. Yes.
Dvau. Ditya Vibhakti. Dvau.
Is it Dve?
Dvau. Dve is Napum Strilinga and Napumsakalinga. Anybody remember the Dvi table for Pumlinga?
Can I say that?
Dvabhyam,
Ramu Mahodaya
Dvayoho.
Okay, it is from Shabdam Mangari. Ditiyaha, Ditiyo, Ditiyaha, He Ditiya, He Ditiyo, He Ditiyaha, Ditiyam, Ditiyo, Ditiyana, Ditiyena, Ditiyebhyam, Ditiyebhya. And it goes like that.
So you are talking about the Ditiya Shabda. That is a different way. I'm just talking, Ditiya means second. I'm just talking about the number 2.
Okay. Okay.
Sundari Mahoday, you were saying, go ahead.
Dvau, Dvabhyam, 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 Dvayoho, Dvayoho.
Dvayoho. So Prashant Mahodaya, there Dvau Balakau Saha, what does that mean?
You said Dvau Balakau?
Saha.
Saha. two boys together.
Saha na, saha, asti, saha santi, saha.
There are two boys, like.
There are two boys. Aham dvau balakau pashyami.
I'm seeing two boys.
Dvabhyam balakabhyam saha aham griham gacchami.
I go home with the two boys.
So in all those cases, you can make examples for other vibhaktis also. The number 2 is always like a joda, like in 2. There is no ekavachana, right? How can you have something that is 2 in ekavachana? So that is all that was said. So just number 1, it cannot exist in bahuvachana or dvivachana. Number 2 cannot exist in ekavachana or bahuvachana. Number 3 onwards, obviously it's a plural in English, it's bahuvachana. So it cannot exist in ekavachana or dvivachana. That's all.
Nitya Divajananta.
Satya. So that is all this was. First,
Dhanyavad.
and then 20 to 99, Vimshati Saha Navanavati Paryantam. They are all like Vimshati Shabdaha. So they are Ekavachana Strilinga equivalent. So just like we have Mati, they all have the vibhakti forms like Mati in Ekavachana. There are exceptions. What are the exceptions? Trimshat, Chatvarimshat, Panchashat. They are not Ikaranta Shabdas, but they are Sakaranta Shabdas, but they are in Strilinga. And again, any Akaranta Strilinga Shabda form, if you look at the Ekavachana form, that is the same form that Trimshat, Chatvarimshat and Panchashat take. So Trimshataha Balakebhyaha. What does this mean? Trimshataha Balakebhyaha.
This is Panchami Vibhakti.
Artaha kaha?
From the 30th boy, is it?
For Balakebhyaha. From iti vaktum shakti. From or for. 30. If it was
because taha is there, no, Mahoday?
Pancham. So if instead of balakaha, if it was balika, what will this become?
It will be the same because it is Trishalingesha.
So any number, so that is the thing to remember. From 5 onwards, there is no linga bheda. The linga bhedam exists only for 1 to 4. Anything above 5, although the pratipadikam may be different and the vibhakti forms are different, the anta may be different. In one case, it is nakaranta. In one case, it's sakaranta. In some other cases, it's ikaranta. They are always in bahuvachana and linga bhedam na. That is the key point to remember. So even if it is balikebhyaha, it will be trimshataha. And this one, what does it mean? Chatvarimshati balikasu.
Saptami Vibhakti.
Saptami Vibhakti Bahuvachane.
Saptami Vibhakti. Arthaha kaha?
In 40 balance.
Among.
In 40 girls.
In, on, among 40 girls. Uttama. Vadatu Mahodaya.
No, this Takaranta ending, Pullinga Shabda we studied Mahat and those Shabda, right? Bhavat and all. So those have these forms. So Strilinga was different what we studied. So which Takaranta we have example?
एकक्षणं पश्यामः. मम सङ्गणकं दृश्यते वा? So this is from the last class. We said for Trimshat, Chatvarimshat and Panchashat, it is Nitya Strilinga Takaranta Shabda. So Strilinga, whatever the Takaranta form, it is like that. Trimshat, Trimshatam. So here, so what is your question? Is it Pullinga or Strilinga? What was the question asked again?
Yes, I think the one I was referring to was the Mahat Shabda and Bhavat Shabda kind of thing. There we had Bhavataha in Pullinga and Strilinga had Bhavatya or Bhavatyai for Chaturthi. So I got confused. So looks like it's a different, it's not the Halanta Shabda, it is the Akaranta ending.
Not Akaranta, Takaranta.
Okay, Takaranta. I think Bhavat and all are Halanta, right? So it is.
These are also Halanta. Anything that is not having an ending in Swaraha, they are all Halanta. Hal just means Vyanjana or consonant. Ach or Swara means vowel in English.
So we don't need to put that Halanta, means not Halanta, that Vyanjana ending thing, right? Where you don't have Swara added to it. Takaranta, when we say it is.
Correct. It is Shat. It is not Trimshata. It is Trimshat. So there is this Halanta. Halanta.
Okay.
That is
I think Viraj Mahoday's question is like that Takaranta Striling Shabda is Nadi Shabdavat.
No, that is for Vimshati, I think. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Vimshati is Mati Shabda.
Mati Shabda. And this is like a Bhavat Shabda Pullinga. Only Vidya Vibhakti is different.
I see what you're saying.
I think his question is this.
Mahat, for Pullinga it comes Mahat.
Gayatri Mahodaya, please wait your turn. Others are saying something. We can't hear it when everybody talks at the same time. Harsha Mahodaya, what were you saying?
What I'm thinking, Viraj Mahodaya question is like that Takaranta Strilinga Shabda is the Nadi Shabdavat. Whereas over here, Trinshat you given us is look like Takaranta Linga Ekvachanam.
Okay,
just only Vidya Vibhakti is different.
I understand the question now. This is a different form of Takaranta. This is a different form of Takaranta for Strilinga. For we studied 4 different forms, right? So this is one more form.
Dhanyawad.
Meera Mahodaya, what were you saying?
It is there in Pravesha book, Mahodaya, Sarit Shabda. Sarit Shabda. Takaranta, Strilinga Shabda. It is similar to Mahat Shabda. Okay. We will study Sarit in the next class, but Viraj Mahodaya, good observation. It is not like any of the Takaranta, Strilinga forms we studied. This is a different, yet another form. Good observation. Gayatri Mahodaya, what were you saying?
No, I was saying only what Harsha Mahodaya was saying, Mahodaya. The same thing only.
Dhanyavad. So what about this this Vimshati? This is not Takaranta, it is Ikaranta. So everything from Vimshati to Navanavati, it is Ikaranta. Vimshati, like Mati Shabda. So did we answer your question, Viraj Mahoday?
Yes, Mahodaya, it's clarified.
So one more thing, we studied Shata, we did not study Sahasra, Ayuta, Laksha, Nivita, etc. So we studied Shata. It is in Nitya, it is a Nitya Napumsakalinga Shabda. It just means that the word itself is in Napumsakalinga, but it can be used with Strilinga and Pumlinga also, all of these. Just because Trimshat, Chatvarimshat and Panchashat are in Strilinga doesn't mean that they are the Visheshanani only for Strilinga Shabdas. They are Visheshanani for Pumlinga and Napumsakalinga Shabda also. It just so happens that they are in the Strilinga. So wherever you see Nitya Strilinga or Nitya Pullinga or Nitya Napumsakalinga, it just means that that is the form, that is the linga they always take, just like Mitram. So Mitram is Napumsakalinga. It is a Nitya Napumsakalinga, but it can be used with Strilinga also. It's like the word friend in English. The friend can be female or male. So Shata, Sahasra, Ayuta, Laksha, Niyata, they are Nitya Napumsakalinga, but they are Visheshanani for other lingas also. And they are like Akaranta Napumsakalinga Shabda, and they have different forms in different vibhaktis. And they take on the Ekavachananta form. So Shata is 100. What is Sahasra?
1,000.
1,000.
1,000. That is the normal meaning of Sahasra, and we see it, for example, in Vishnu Sahasranamam. So 1,000 names of Vishnu or Lakshmi Sahasranamam, ityadi, 1,000 names. That is one meaning of the word Sahasra, 1,000. But many times we encounter the word Sahasra to mean uncountable or a very large number. So if you see Sahasra, don't always take it as 1,000 only. It can also mean uncountable or very, very large number.
They say Sahasrani.
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 So Sahasrebhyah Bhaktebhyah. So for 1,000 bhaktas, but who has counted that there are exactly 1,000 bhaktas? It just means that for many, many, many bhaktas. That's all it means. Here, that is how it is. So what about the other numbers? Ayuta, Niyuta, etc. that we saw. So here we have numbers. Ekam is 10 to the power of 0, which is 1. I hope you remember the basic arithmetic we studied in middle school or high school, where we talked about power of something to the power of something. 10 to the power of 0 just means that it is 1 followed by that many zeros. So 10 to the power of 1 means 1 followed by that many zeros. In this case, 1 0. 10 to the power of 2 is 1 followed by 2 zeros, and so on. So we have words all the way from 10 to the power of 0 to 10 to the power of 17. So this was conceived several thousands of years ago, when the rest of the world did not even have a decimal number system. Can anybody guess why we had to come up with numbers to the order of 17? Any guesses? They just simply didn't invent these numbers, right? Oh, it's so fun to do it. So let me come up with one more name for 10 to the power of X.
Maybe the
Astronomy.
measuring the
Something to do with the distance to the sun.
Astronomy. So if you look at our history, the famous ones are of course Aryabhata, Bhaskara, etc. It's not just the distance to the sun, distance to the other planets also, and it's a very fun topic. So our ancient astronomers discovered that the distance, if I remember correctly, the distance from the moon to the earth, distance from earth to the moon is 8 times the distance from earth to moon or something like that. And there are many interesting factors.
There's a specific ratio. Distance between the earth to the moon into some 99 times or something is the distance between the earth and sun, something like that.
It's something to do with diameter.
Right. So when you have to calculate such complex and long distances, you obviously have to come up with such numbers. Obviously, Roman numbers just won't work. So we should all be proud of what our ancestors achieved, and we are very lucky that we have inherited such a great heritage, and it's our kartavyam, our duty to preserve. Many of our ancestors gave their life to protect and to keep our Sanatana Dharma alive. They literally died. That's our history. That's our itihasa. And we are in a very comfortable place. So the least we can do is teach the next generation, whether it's our own children or other children, what we have inherited and what they are inheriting, and why they should be proud. Being proud just like that, it won't make sense, right? We also have to teach them why they should be proud. This is a major achievement. In the next class, I will show you numbers that go below 0. So this is 10 to the power of 0, but there are 10 to the power of negative numbers also. That is where fractions come in. I will show those the next time. So these are the various names given to 10 to the power of various numbers. So it is a very sad fact that today, in our day-to-day usage, anything above koti or crore, we start saying 1,000 crores, lakh crores, this many crores, that many crores. We just keep adding 1,000 or lakh or whatever. We have names for all of them. I think we should start using them. But anyway, it is what it is. So there is a shloka that helps you remember all the names, and it is yathakramam. So it is in that order. So all these names are in the same order that are displayed in this table. So if you want to remember these names, one way to do that is to remember this shloka. अस्तु, प्रश्नाः सन्ति वा? Let us do one quiz or abhyasa on the sankhya. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Rita Mahoday, please start us off.
हरिद्वारतः पंच पर्यटकाः देहलीम् आगमिष्यन्ति.
Why pancha? Why not ekah or dve?
Because पर्यटकाः अकारान्त पुल्लिंग शब्द बहुवचने. अस्ति
बहुवचन अतः पञ्च सत्यम् उत्तमम् उषा महोदय
चित्रे चत्वारः वृक्षाः सन्ति
वै चत्वारः
चतस्रः स्त्रीलिंग चत्वारि नपुंसकलिंग चत्वारः पुल्लिंग for वृक्षाः
उत्तमं वृक्षा is पुंलिंगा so therefore it has to be चत्वारः उत्तमम् पवित्र महोदय
संस्कृतभाषायां डैश वचनानि भवन्ति
वचनानि what is the linga vachana vibhakti of vachanani
ईकारान्त
नपुंसकलिङ्ग वचनानि फलं फले फलानि
त्रयाणि वचनानि भवन्ति संस्कृतभाषायां त्रयाणि
what about this
त्रीणि not त्रयाणि it's that is स्त्रीलिङ्गे त्रयः is पुल्लिङ्गः so त्रीणि वचनानि भवन्ति
there is no word called trayani if it was strilinga it would be tisraha trayah pullinga tisraha strilinga त्रीणि नपुंसक गायत्री महोदय
वेदाः चत्वाराः सन्ति
give also the reason for your answer
महोदय
reason give the reason for your answer also
okay वेदाः प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचनं
linga
चत्वारः वेदाः सर्वे
linga
लिंग पुल्लिंग
therefore
चत्वारः
चत्वारः no not chatwaraha there is no chatwaraha there is only chatwaraha प्रशांत महोदय
महोदय मासे पक्षे स्तः
what is it trying to say
Mase in the month pakshe stah is it the shukla paksha in the other one Krishna
what is the other
Krishna
Krishna paksha shukla paksha how many
Mase it would be then striling
no don't go by mase go by paksha how many are there
then it would be dve
dve two so what is Krishna paksha and what is shukla paksha
shukla Krishna paksha is when it is becoming dark
so from full moon to
no
moon. Yes. Shukla paksha is from no moon to full moon.
No moon.
Viraj Mahoday.
शिवस्य डैश आननानां हसनम् अस्ति
what is ananam anana means gajanana gaja anana
okay it's the face
face so there is a famous thing about Shiva where he has X number of faces you know how many there is a Shiva linga that has no body or face then there is a normal Shiva form that we see along with Parvati. But there is also one form of Shiva which has 5 faces.
Okay.
So Anananam, what is the vibhakti and vachana?
Shashti Bahuvachana. Next, then answer will be Panchanam.
Uttama. Chaitra Mahoday.
उद्यानेषु सुन्दराणि पुष्पाणि विकसन्ति पंचासु not panchasu पंचासु उद्यानं बहुवचने अस्ति नपुंसकलिङ्गे बहुवचने अस्ति विंशतिषु
why not the other?
एकस्यां एकवचने अस्ति महोदय.
So that doesn't make sense.
And विंशत्यां विंशत्यां द्वितीया विभक्त्याम् अस्ति. Is it?
Nadyam. So what is Vimshati? What is the linga of Vimshati?
Vimshati nitya strilinga.
Vimshati nitya strilinga.
Nitya ekavachananta.
Nitya ekavachananta.
Udyaneshu. Udyaneshu.
Udyaneshu is fine. Bahuvachana asti napumsakalinga.
Udyanam napumsakalinga mahodaya. So
Saptami vibhakti, all that is fine. So now you have to find a word that is in Saptami vibhakti bahuvachana.
Then it is panchasu. Panchasu. I think I'm confused.
Chinta nasti. So look at this. Vimshati is Strilinga form, but it is ekavachananta. So whatever mati shabda is, it is like that. Matihi, mati, matihi, matim, mati, saptami vibhakta, matihi, matim, and saptami vibhakti is matyam.
Matyam.
So Vimshati will be Vimshatyam. So it cannot be Vimshatishu because this form doesn't even exist because it's a Strilinga form, right? Vimshati takes Strilinga form. So Vimshatishu doesn't even exist. Ekavachananta. So it has to be either Vimshatyam or Panchasu. But what is Panchasu? Ekavachananta.
Panchasu bahuvachane asti. Panchasu bahuvachane asti. Then I think Vimshatyam, I suppose. Okay, I'm just playing along. I'm so sorry, Shamyata.
No, it is the reason for this abhyasa is to practice all this. So does everybody understand why it cannot be okay? Ekasyam, this is easy because the Eka Shabda can only exist in Ekavachana. So the answer can be one of these three. Why cannot it be Panchasu?
Panchasu because bahuvachane asti. But then Udyan, Udyaneshu. No. I think the logic is there's something problem there.
See, okay, fine. Yeah, let me try. Udyaneshu is bahuvachana saptami vibhakti. So we have to find a saptami vibhakti bahuvachana form. That is the sankhya vachaka shabda, sankhya. But panchasu, panchan, let's look at Panchan.
Mahodaya, can I tell?
Go ahead, Mahodaya.
I think it is Panchasu. I think it is not Panchasu. So this could be, that is one reason. And the only option available is Vimshatyam.
Satyam. Panchasu asti, Panchasu nasti. So there is no such word as Panchasu. So this is also eliminated. Now you have to see between Vimshatyam or Vimshatishu. And we saw here that the Vimshati Shabda is Ikaranta Ekavachananta. Right? Ekavachananta. So Mati. Let us look at that. I hope you are all started using this Sanskrit Abhyas .in site where you can look at the different vibhakti forms. Ekavachananta forms means this column, not this column, not this column. So even though Vimshati, the word Vimshati, 20 is a Bahuvachana, the Anta, the vibhakti forms are like this, not like this. So Matihi, Mate, Matim, Matya, ityadi. Saptami vibhaktau Matyam or Matau asti. Therefore, it is Vimshatihi, Vimshatim, Vimshatya, Vimshatyai, Vimshatyaha, Vimshatyaha, Vimshatyam. So the Vimshati word exists in this column only, follows this column, not this column. So Vimshatishu iti Ashuddham, Vimshatyam. And so by the process of elimination, this also goes away and this goes away. Spashtam?
Mahodaya, now this thing Ashtadhyayi also gives vibhakti forms.
I haven't seen that. I will research it and show it in the next class. Dhanyavadaha. It's good to know that. So next.
Can I ask? Sorry. So if there is no these choices, can I take like Udyaneshu? So many like 20 flowers are there. I can take like that also, right?
So
Udaharanam. So Udyan. Oh, sorry. Then it will be like so many in so many gardens, like 20 flowers are there, like that I can also say.
Bahushu Udyaneshu Vinchati Pushpani San. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, if these choices are not there, just if I want to take the meaning of these sentence, so how do I take it? So should I have to concentrate on Udyaneshu or the Sundarani Pushpani Vikasanti? Like if I have to put some numbers in that.
Depends on where you want to put the number. Are you trying to say how many flowers are there, or are you saying in how many gardens flowers are there?
So if I'm asked to fill in the blanks using the numbers, but not, they didn't give me like these choices. So how will I do?
How will you do? Same thing, follow.
It is up to me like that, or?
It's up to you. There are no choices. You can say 3, whatever the appropriate form of 3. So Budhyanam Napunsakalinga. So if you want to say 3 in 3, you will use the Napunsakalinga form of 3. Trishu Udyaneshu Sundarani Pushpani Vikasanti. Is that the question?
If I have to take like in 5 gardens, then I put according to the Saptami Vibhakti for Udyaneshu. So if I'm taking the number of flowers, then I put a in Prathama Vibhakti, right?
Satyam. Because Pushpani Vikasanti, Pushpani Santi. This is in Prathama Vibhakti, whereas Udyaneshu is in Saptami Vibhakti.
Dhanyavad.
So if you want to say in 5 gardens, it will be panchasu, not panchasu.
Astu. Then
Ramu Mahavi.
I had a doubt. So Udyaneshu is Napumsakalingam, but Vimshatyam is Strilingam. So is that
Good point. Good point. Atra pashyatu. Vinshati ityadi nitya strilinga. I think I said this before. Although it's a strilinga shabda, it is a visheshanam for all lingas, for pumlinga and napumsakalinga also. It just happened that it is in strilinga, but it is visheshanam for all 3 lingas. Just like mitram. Mitram is a napumsakalinga word, but you can use mitram for strilinga for a female friend or pumlinga for a male, like that. Same concept.
Okay.
Question mark?
Astu Mahoday.
Ramu Mahodaya, you were saying something?
I forgot what he was telling.
Okay. If you remember, you can say. Sundari Mahodaya.
बालकेभ्यः पुस्तकानां संग्रहणं कुरु. बालकेभ्यः 1 minute.
Take your time.
शतेभ्यः बालकेभ्यः पुस्तकानां संग्रहणं कुरु.
You have to give the reasoning also. What is it trying to say here?
Some number of boys. So balakebhyah is balakebhyah pustakanam sangrahanam kuru. Balakebhyah can be in it can be in amebhyah. Bahuvachanam Chaturthi, Panchami and Chaturthi and Panchami can be. From so naturally it will be Chaturthi Vibhakti.
Why?
No. From Naka Panchami. From Valakepe Pustakanam Sangrahanam Kuru. Okay. Panchami Mahodaya.
Why Panchami?
Balakebhyah Bahuvachanam Panchami Vibhakti. So
okay.
Why will be.
Why Panchami? Why? Okay. I think there is a lag between when you speak and when I speak. So just pause in between what you're saying. So my question is, why Panchami Vibhakti? Why not Chaturthi Vibhakti?
From Pustakanam Sangrahanam Kuru.
Pustakanam Sangrahanam Kuru. Why? What does that mean? Sangrahanam. What is Grahanam? Grahanati.
Cover.
I will not to talk cover. I will help you. Sangrahanam Kuru. Take from taking of the book. Taking of the book. That is what it is.
Collect.
Collecting.
Collect. So it has to be Panchami.
Panchami.
So now what is in Panchami Bahuvachanam?
It cannot be ekebhyah. Shate. It can be Shatebhyah. Sorry, Panchat. No, Panchabhyah only. So Panchat is not there. Ekona Vimshate. So I think I will take it as Shatebhyah.
Shata is in Akaranta Nitya Napumsakalinga Ekavachananta.
Oh.
What is Akaranta Napumsakalinga Ekavachana? Phala. What is Panchami Ekavachana of Phala?
It will be Ramat. Oh, okay.
So it will be Shata.
Yeah.
No, it cannot be Shatebhyah. It has to be Shata. So this word doesn't exist.
Panchat.
Panchan. Panchan. What is Panchan? Panchami Vibhakti Pancha.
Panchan is Pancha, Panchabihi, Panchabhyah only.
Panchabhyah. Satyam.
So
there is no.
Doesn't come as Pancha.
So there is no Panchat.
So Panchat is not there. There is no word like that. Ekona Vimshati.
What is Ekona Vimshati?
Ekona Vimshati, 1 less than 2019.
So Ekona Vimshati, it is like Vimshati Shabda.
Okay.
What is Vimshati Shabda in Panchami Vibhakti Bahuvachana?
Vimshati Shabda.
Like Mati.
Vimshati. Nadibhyah. Nadibhyah.
No. It is in the Ekavachananta form. Ekavachananta form. Matehe.
Yeah. Matehe.
Ekona Vimshate. That is the only remaining of.
Then it comes as Ekona Vimshati. Vimshatehe.
Ekona Vimshatehe Balakebhya Pustakanam Grahanam Kuru.
Sangrahanam Kuru.
Dhanyavadah.
Thank you. Dhanyavadah.
Is this clear for everybody? Why it is Ekona Vimshatehe and not the other form? So to get to the answer, you have to remember these rules. I know it is somewhat complex and there are many rules, but that is the reason why we are doing this abhyasa. Atra prashnaha santi va?
Banu Mohdaya, the last part, Eko Vinshate, could you explain again?
I will. So Ekona Vimshati. So we saw for 19, it can be either Navadashan as a Pratipadikam or Ekona Vimshati. And Ekona Vimshati is like Vimshati. That is what we said. And what is Vimshati? Vimshati is Ikaranta Strilinga Ekavachananta. So what does that mean? It is like Mati Shabda in Ekavachananta form. So the only forms Vimshati and other numbers can take will be like this, not like this and not like this. So it has to be Ekona Vimshatyaha or Ekona Vimshatehe because it's Panchami. Clear?
Dhanyavad.
Lakshmi Mahoday.
Atra sarvan purushan drishtavan va.
Itra re api asti.
Oh, re api asti. Re.
Re
So Sambodhana.
Sambodhana. Hey, bhoho,
okay.
re, ityadi.
Re, atra sarvan purushan drishtavan va.
So it is we are looking for a Sankhya Visheshanam for Purusha. So what is on
Purusha Saptanavatihi Ashtavinshatihi.
What is Purushan?
Nakaranta Pullinga Shabda Mahoday. No? Purusha will be
Purushaha.
Okay. Purushaha Pullinga Shabdaha. So Chatvari is not there.
No, wait. What is Purushan? What is the Linga Vachana Vibhakti?
Purushan Bahuvachanam Dvitiya Vibhakti.
Pumlinga. So you
Ramau Raman Pullinga Dvitiya Vibhakti Bahuvachanam.
So now look for a Dvitiya Vibhakti Bahuvachana Shabda.
So Chatvari is ruled out. Will it be Navanavatiman?
Why is Chatvari ruled out?
No, Chatvari is Napumsakalinga. Chatvari is Napumsakalinga, Prathama Vibhakti. So I thought that's ruled out.
Where is 13?
Ekavachanam Chatvari it is.
Where did he cover the Sankhya?
Chatvaraha Chatasraha Chatvari.
Pumlinge, what is Pumlinga Chatur Shabda?
Pullinge Chatvaraha. Pullinge. Strilinge Chatasraha. Napumsakalinge it's Chatvari.
Mahodaya for Bahuvachana Chaturaha. It is Pullinge.
Dvitiya Vibhakti.
Dvitiya Vibhakti.
So Chatvaraha.
Chatwaraha. Dvitiya Vibhakti, it is Chaturaha. So Chatvari is ruled out. So I thought Purushan, so it could be Navanavati Taman. So I thought that Man and Shan may coincide.
That's only partial reasoning, but can you eliminate the others also?
We'll see Mahodaya. Sapta Navatihi. Ashtavimshatihi is 18. I feel it is that only. Not
Ashtavimshati is not 18, Mahodaya.
28. 28, sorry. 28. Ashtavimshatihi.
Navanavati. Okay, you're saying it could be this. Navanavati.
It could be Navanavatitama.
So Navanavati is like Vimshati.
Vimshati.
So
and Strilinga. Sorry, even that is ruled out.
Why?
Because it is a Strilinga Vata and Purushan is Pullinge.
No, we just went over that. We just saw that.
No, Vimshati is Nitya Strilinga.
Yeah, they are in Strilinga, but they are Visheshanani for all three lingas.
Oh, all three lingas. Okay.
You can't say just because Vimshati is a Strilinga Shabda, it is not, cannot be a Visheshanam for Pumlinga or Napumsakalinga.
Okay.
They are Visheshanani for all three lingas.
All.
Just happen that they are in Strilinga.
Strilinga.
So
I mean,
Navanavati
no,
is
that,
like
Vimshati.
It's like Vimshati. So what is Vimshati? It's like Mati, right? What is Vimshati in Ditya Vibhakti Bahuvachana?
Matihi. Matihi. Dirgamasti.
But we have to take the Ekavachananta form only. They don't exist in these forms.
Anything. So Matim.
If it was Navanavati, Navanavatim Purushan.
So, okay, that is also ruled out now. Okay. So Sapta Navatihi is 79, Mahodaya. That is also like
97.
This is 97.
Saptanavati is 97.
Okay. Okay, 97. So that is also like Vimshati Shabdavat Asti.
So it has to
Matin. So maybe it is Ashta Vimshatihi. That's the only thing left out now.
It is not Ashtavimshatihi, Ashtavimshatim.
Oh, okay. Ashtavimshatim.
So
Ashtavimshatim is like Matim.
It has to be like Matim.
Matim.
What is Ashtavimshatim?
28.
Therefore, it is Ashtavimshatim.
Ashtavimshatim.
Is this clear? I think there is some confusion about these lingas. So the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, only they have linga bheda. So for Pumlinga, they have different. Please mute yourself. For Pumlinga, Strilinga, and Napumsakalinga, they have different vibhakti forms. For number 5 and above, they may exist in a particular linga, but they apply to words of any linga. So just because Vimshati is in a Strilinga does not mean that it is a Visheshanam for only Strilinga words. It can be Visheshanam for Pumlinga or Napumsakalinga words also. And Ekavachanantaha. So this is like Ikaranta Ekavachanantaha. Antaha Ekavachanantaha just means whatever the Mati form is in Ekavachana, it takes the same form. So Vimshatihi, Vimshatim, Vimshatya, Vimshatyai, etc. Ekona Vimshatihi, Ekona Vimshatim, Ekona Vimshatya, etc. So there is no Vimshati or Vimshatayaha. Even though the word is Bahuvachana, the Anta, the form exists only in this, whatever is like this table. That is what Ekavachanantaha is. Same way, Trimshat, Chatvarimshat, Panchashat, they are Sakaranta forms and Strilinga, but they are also like Ekavachananta forms. So they always follow this form, Trimshat, Trimshatam, Trimshata. So even though they are Bahuvachana words, they follow the rules, Vibhakti rules of the Ekavachana form. That is what that is trying to say. Is this clear, or shall we try a different way of understanding this?
This is better now, but I think we would require some more practice.
Practice is required, Mahodaya.
When you explained, it's clear.
Yeah, very clear.
But when it comes to our turn, it becomes all confusing.
That's okay. That's okay. It just means Rohini Mahod.
Sarveshu Vivadeshu यैः वा सः तस्य लक्ष्यं साधयति एव सर्वेषु विवादेषु वाक्यैः वा सः तस्य लक्ष्यं साधयति एव.
What is the sentence trying to say? Sarveshu vivadeshu.
In spite of many discussions.
No. In spite of it, not sarveshu. In all discussions.
In all discussions is. Discussions.
So some number of vakyaihi. What vakyaihi means?
Some of the sentences.
By sentences or with sentences.
By sentences.
Saha tasya lakshyam sadhayati. So he wins the argument or he achieves his objective, something like that. So we have to find the number of vakyaihi, tritiya vibhakti bahuvachana. Vakyena vakyabhyam vakyaihi. Satya?
Okay. Let's see. This is
so vakyahi is bahuvachana. Eka cannot exist in bahuvachana, so you can easily eliminate it.
Sadena can exist.
Are you saying?
Sadena.
So let us look at what are the rules for shata. Shata is akaranta ekavachananta. So shatena. So even if you want to say by hundreds, you will say shatena. This is possible. Can this be possible or this be possible? Sahasraihi.
Sahasraihi.
Sahasra also exists in ekavachananta only. So sahasrena. So sahasraihi does not exist. So this is wrong. Panchabhyaha.
Panchabhyaha. That's not the form.
That is not the form. What is the form? Panchabhyaha.
That's the Chaturthi or Panchami.
So it is Panchabhiki. If it is Tritiya Vibhakti, it has to be Panchabhiki.
Bhihi, yes.
So this is also eliminated. So Shatena.
Satena.
Uttama.
Bhanumade, this Sahastrai, could you explain why it can't be included? Why is it not correct?
What is Sahasra? What is the rule? It is in the Ekavachananta form, Akaranta Napumsakalinga. So like Phala. So Phala Tritiya Vibhakti. What is Phala Tritiya Vibhakti? Ekavachanam. Phalena.
Yes.
So Sahasrena. It cannot exist. It is in Ekavachananta only. It is not in Bahuvachananta. So there is no Sahasraihi, Sahasrena. That is why
there is no word.
There is no such word. So Sahasraihi is wrong. Spashtam va? We will do abhyasa in the form of homework, so we will get more practice. Prashnaha santi chet pruchate.
So we have to logically understand those tables, Mahodaya.
There are only 4 or 5 rules. So 1 to 4 clear. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they form the second category up to 19. Everything from 20 to 20 and above is the third category, with exceptions for 30, 40, and 50. And then 100. So there are 5 categories, 5 rules. If you understand these 5 rules, yeah.
Now
Mahodaya,
it's getting interesting.
So Mahodaya, if you use Ekona Vimshatihi, the form is different. If you use Navadashan, the form is different.
Satya. That is what this is saying.
Correct.
So Mahodaya, if it is Navadasha, is it Navadashaha?
No, it is like Panchan, Pancha, Pancha. So Navadasha, Navadasha. But if it is Ekona Vimshati, then it becomes like Vimshati. अन्ये प्रश्नाः सन्ति वा?
एक प्रश्नः अस्ति महोदय. If we are using like Panchan form, that will also be in Ekavachanam form only, like Navadashan.
That is Nitya Bahuvachananam, it is written.
Correct. Nitya Bahuvachananta. Pancha. It exists only in Bahuvachana form. Pancha, Pancha, Panchabhihi, Panchabhyaha, ityadi. There is no Ekavachananta or Dvivachananta.
Only the Vimshati there is.
Vadatu Rohini Mahoday, किं वक्तुमिच्छति?
No, only after Vimshati you got the Ekavachana forms, right?
Good observation. From Vimshati onwards, Ekavachananta form. Whether it is a Strilinga, Sakaranta, Ekavachana, or Akaranta, Napunsakalinga, Eka form, or some other form, it is in the Ekavachananta. Good observation.
That is what I meant, Mahodaya. That was my question.
You meant Ekavachana Anta, Ekavachananta.
Anta.
Anta. Satya.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः. अस्तु, अन्ये प्रश्नाः न सन्ति चेत् let us start on a very important topic. This came up because of the Anvaya Rachana we have been doing. There was some confusion about when a word, especially in Ditya Vibhakti, is a Visheshanam and when it is a Dvikarmaka or Sakarmaka. So let us look at that. So what is a Karma Padam in a Vakyam? You can say it in English also, that is fine. What is Karma Padam?
It represents the action.
Karma Padam is an object.
Meaning what? What does that mean?
When you question on the Kriya Padam, like what the Kriya is indicating, then the object, it points to the object. Like, you know, but like Pustakam Patati. So Patati, when you're asking Kim Patati, then Pustakam Patati.
So there is a specific question you have to ask. It is Kim, or in whatever Ekavachana, Dvivachana, Bahuvachana, but basically the Kim question, the answer to the Kim question is given by the Karma Padam. So whatever, in other words, whatever takes on the result of the Kriya, that is the Karma Padam. Balakaha Pustakam Patati. So there if he asks the Kaha question, Kaha Patati on Kriya Padam, it gives Balakaha. So therefore that is not the Karma Padam, that is the Karta, Kartru Padam. So when you ask the Kim question on the Kriya Padam, Kim Patati, Balakaha Kim Patati, Pustakam Patati. So whatever is the response to the Kim question, that is what is Karma. So this is the sutram that defines what a Karma Padam is. This is the Panini Sutram. If you want to remember it, you can do that. But so far we haven't learned through sutras. So this is just for your information only. I remember it as kim. If you ask the kim question or what in English, what, the question what on the Kriya Padam, the answer to that is what is Karma Padam. So before we delve into more about Karma Padam, we have to look at Dhatu. What is a Dhatu?
Dhatu is the root word, sir.
Root word.
क्रियापदस्य मूलरूपम्.
Moolarupam.
Kimapi padasya moolarupam. What?
Padasya moolarupam is dhatu only.
Yeah.
So the base form, the most fundamental form from which the different kriya forms, the lakaras, ityadi are derived, that is a dhatu. What is the equivalent for namapadam?
Pratipadikam.
Pratipadikam.
Pratipadikam. So there are basically two types of dhatu, sakarmaka and akarmaka. So in Sanskrita we say two types. The word for it is vidha. There is also one more form called vedha. Vedha means in two types or of two types. And this form exists. This is just additional information for you. Dvedha, and for three, tridha, and for four you say chaturdha, ityadi. So whenever you say dvedha, tridha, chaturdha, ityadi, it just means in so many types or of so many types. So dhatus are vividhaha, sakarmaka and akarmaka. Some examples of sakarmaka: pathati, likhati, dadati. Akarmaka, some examples: tishthati, upavishati, hasati, bhu, as. So we will come to us in a second. So what exactly do we mean by sakarmaka or akarmaka dhatu? So when we take pathati, for example, if we ask the word, if we ask the question kim on pathati, can there be a response? Kim pathati? Balakah pustakam pathati. Or very even simpler than that, balakah pathati. Now on the Kriya Padam pathati, if we ask the question kim, whether there is an answer in that sentence or not, is that question kim possible to be asked on that Kriya Padam or not? That defines whether it is a akarmaka or sakarmaka. If the answer is possible, then it is a sakarmaka. If the answer is not at all possible, then it is an akarmaka. So, for example, balakaha asti. Can you ask the question kim on the Kriya Padam asti? Balakaha asti. Boy exists. Boy is there. Now try it in English. It's the same in English also. Boy reads a book or boy reads. What does the boy read? So there is a possible answer. He reads a book, he reads a paper, he reads something else. So on the word read, on the Kriya Padam read, you can ask the question what? The boy exists or the boy is there. Can you ask the question what? Boy, what is? That doesn't even make sense. I mean, I don't even know how to explain. That doesn't even make sense. Same way in Sanskritam. Balakah pathati. Kim pathati? Kimapi. Pustakam pathati, grantham pathati, kavitam pathati, kimapi. Parantu balakah asti. Balakah kim asti? It's a boy. What exists? What does that mean? It makes no sense. So such type of dhatu for which the kim question does not even make sense, they are called akarmaka dhatu. So some examples: tishtati. So balakah tishtati. What does balakah tishtati mean?
The boy stays there.
Boy stays there or stands. Balakah kim tishtati. Kim tishtati. Can we ask that question? Does that even make sense? Can there be even a response? Kutra tishtati we can answer. But kim tishtati, that question itself doesn't make sense. Same way, upavishati or hasati. The boy laughs. Shishuhu hasati. The baby laughs. The baby what laughs? That doesn't make sense. Same way for bhu and us. So here, us, I'm specifying, I'm being very careful to say the word us, the dhatu us, only when it is used in the sense of to be or to exist. And there is a reason for me to be particular about that. I will tell you why. Because the as dhatu has two different meanings. Oh, I'm not sharing this screen. So in Ashtadhyayi, if you go and type in the dhatu name, it will give me the various meanings of the dhatu. So when it means to exist or to be, then it is a akarmaka dhatu. And that is obvious because we cannot ask the question kim asti, balakah kim asti, what does the boy exist? That doesn't even make sense. Parantu, when the dhatu as means to go or to shine, then it is a sakarmaka dhatu. So I'm being very specific that when the dhatu as is used in the sense of to be or to exist, that is when it is an akarmaka dhatu. So if you go to Ashtadhyayi and look for a dhatu, it will give you several details of that. It will give you the name of the dhatu. It will give you whether it is ubhayapadi, parasmaipadi or atmanepadi, and whether it is a sakarmaka, akarmaka, or in some cases dvikarmaka. So all these details you can find out. And if I click on any particular dhatu, it will give me the different lakara forms. Asti, saha, santi. We have seen this many times. Whereas if we choose the other meaning of us to be, to go or to shine or whatever, where it is a sakarmaka, the lakara forms are different. It is not astistah santi, it is asati, asataha, asanti, and it is a ubhayapadi. So it exists in parasmaipadi and atmanepadi also. So here, when I say as dhatu is an akarmaka dhatu, I mean in this context, not in any other context. Clear so far? So let us finish this concept and stop the lesson here. Give me 3 or 4 more minutes and we'll finish.
भानु महोदय, एकः प्रश्नः अस्ति. So while it is clear in the context of pullinga, in napumsakalinga, if we say phalam asti, so there we ask kim asti, right? So how do we figure out whether it is like it's a karma padam or not a karma padam? Like balakaha asti, so there is kaha asti, and hence we cannot ask the question kim asti. Kintu like chatram asti or phalam asti. So there we usually ask kim asti, right? Because it's the napumsakalinga. So yeah, so the confusion is there.
So there, very good question. So there the kim question is the same for prathama vibhakti and dvitiya vibhakti, because the prathama and dvitiya forms of napumsakalinga are the same. So from the context you will know phalam asti is it being used in the Prathama Vibhakti context or Dvitiya Vibhakti context? Aham
Please give an example, Mahodaya.
I'm giving. Aham phalam asti. So the fruit is there. So it is obvious it is in Prathama Vibhakti. Kim asti there doesn't make sense. Aham amra phalam khadami. There phalam, or let us keep it phalam only. Aham phalam khadami. Kim khadami, Kriyapadam is khadami. Kim khadami, phalam khadami. So there I can answer the Kim question. So it is in Dvitiya Vibhakti.
Spashtam. Dhanyavadaha.
Astu. Please bear with me for 5 more minutes. I know it's time. So same thing. We have to ask the Kim question. If the answer makes sense, then it is a sakarmaka dhatu. If the answer doesn't make sense or the question itself doesn't make sense, it is a akarmaka dhatu. Let us look at an example. We have seen this. Ramaha kim pathati. So in the pathati case, for the pathati kriyapadam, kim makes sense because we can find an answer. Geetam pathati, patham pathati, pustakam pathati, ityadi. Parantu Ramaha kim shete. Shete means sleep. Ramaha what sleep? Does that question make sense? It doesn't even make sense. So it is a nirarthaka prashna. So yatra uttaram kadapi na shakya. Never. Then it is a akarmaka dhatu. So Shete is the prathama purusha ekvachana form. So the dhatu is she or sheeng. Sheeng is called the mula dhatu. She is the normal dhatu form that we use. Both are correct. We haven't studied what is a mula dhatu and the samanya dhatu. We will cover it in some other class. But for the purpose of this example, take the dhatu as she. So the question Kim doesn't even make sense for Shete, therefore it is akarmaka dhatu. But exceptions exist, as always in Sanskrit. The vahati, vah dhatu by itself is a sakarmaka dhatu. It can take the karma padam. For example, Ramaha bharam vahati. What does vahati mean?
Carries.
Carried. Satya. That is one meaning of the word vahati. So Ramaha bharam vahati means he is carrying a load, or Ramaha pustakam vahati is carrying a book. So in this sense, Kim vahati, you can find an answer. Therefore, in this context, it is a sakarmaka dhatu. But the vahati word's dhatu is vah. So vah dhatu also means pravahati, not just carrying, also close. There is a second meaning. So nadi vahati or pravahati, that is the more common usage you see, but both mean the same, come from the same vah dhatu. Nadi vahati. So nadi, the river flows. Here in this context, can you ask the question Kim and make sense? Nadi, what flows? The river, what flows? It doesn't even make sense, right? So atra, even though the vah dhatu is a sakarmaka, in this context it displays or darshayati, akarmakatvam darshayati. So we can't blindly go by whether a dhatu is sakarmaka or akarmaka by looking at Ashtadhyayi. So even though it can be a sakarmaka dhatu, depending on the meaning, sometimes akarmakatvam api darshayati. It just displays or acts as if it is an akarmaka dhatu because the Kim question does not make sense in that context. Clear so far? One last thing. Sometimes kadachit akarmaka dhatu upasargena saha bhavati tada sakarmakatvam pradarshayati. Sometimes akarmaka dhatus, when they are combined with upasarga, then they behave like sakarmaka. So ruh dhatu is a akarmaka dhatu. Normally ruh dhatu doesn't take a karma padam, but when we say vanaraha vruksham arohati, then it acts as if it is a sakarmaka dhatu. So ruh is akarmaka, but we are adding the a upasarga. So a plus ruh arohati, even though it is a akarmaka dhatu, it acts as if it's a sakarmaka dhatu. So we can't blindly take whether it's sakarmaka or sakarmaka based on Ashtadhyayi or some other book. It also depends on the context and the meaning. We will look at more details in the next class. I'm sorry for going over our time. Any questions about what we discussed so far? In the next class, we will see why or when it is a Visheshanam and when it's not a Visheshanam, but it is a Karma Padam. That is the question many of you had during Anvaya Rachana. So I will clarify that in the next class. So if there are no questions, let's end the class. Gayatri Mahode, अस्ति वा? अस्ति. कृपया मङ्गलश्लोकं करोतु.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
धन्यवादाः.